Okay, we are live. How is everybody doing? Back with a live stream once again. It's now 6:47 p.m. Pacific time here in Las Vegas. We're going to do an unboxing tonight. I figured let's do it live. I was going to record the video. I'll do it anyway, but let's do it all together. Seems like a lot of fun. We had a great time the last few times we've been doing it, and I figured why not? Let's get this X1 Carbon Gen 10, which I have right here out of the box. I don't know which one they sent me. You know, I really don't, to be honest with you. So we're going to find out together. I don't know if it's full HD. I don't know if it's the 2.8K display. OLED, I don't know. Whatever it is, it is. But it's good to see everybody. Andrew back again. And do me a favor, hit that thumbs up. Let's get this spread out over YouTube so we can get this seen by as many people as possible. Let me know if you can see me and hear me okay. Hopefully we've ironed out all the problems we've been having in the past regarding the live stream. I had to restart the last two. I don't know what the issue was, but I think we hopefully have gotten it resolved here this time around. We have, I see so far, 39 of you watching, so that's a good start. For those that are not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, and why not do so, because I've got a lot of good stuff. Now, this is the X1 Carbon Gen 3, Gen 10 that you see here. And I'm supposedly getting this week, hopefully by the end of the week or maybe even sooner, the ThinkPad Z13. So that's running the AMD Ryzen 6000 processor. I am really looking forward to that one. So hopefully it doesn't get delayed by FedEx or whatever. We'll get it into the studio. We're going to get it live unboxing maybe. We'll see. We'll definitely get some videos on that. That's for sure. According to Michael Bird, good to see you, my friend, coming through crystal clear. Okay, I just want to wait for a few more people to get here. We've already got 50 of you. Let's make it a good one. Now, again, like I said, I don't know what they sent me in terms of this one, and you can see it here. Here's the box. Let me zoom out a little bit. And I don't know if it's going to have the display. I don't know the processor. It's going to be a 12th gen processor. We know that. I know it's going to have a full HD camera. I know that. But I don't know anything beyond that. So we're going to all find out in about a moment. But I just want to see, we've already got 54 of you here. If you want to become a member of the channel, that certainly helps out, helps grow the channel on a monthly basis. It helps support the channel because I do go out of pocket. I went out of pocket for that XPS 13 Plus. Maybe getting some other things that I want to be quiet about right now, but will be coming very soon. So let's see. So that definitely helps. Good to see Tech Realm. We have Michael Bird here. I saw Handquake here. Again, we'll find out together what we're going to get here. We never know what they sent. I didn't get any press material other than they said they were sending it to me. Yes, we got the Thursday night, or Tuesday night, I should say, ThinkPad cravings. That is correct, XM. And Revolt wants a 9i with a 6 series Ryzen. That would be great, Revolt. X1s are tanks. Yeah, they are built great. They do take a licking and keep on ticking. That's for sure. X1 Carbon Gen 10 coming up. Any plans to do the Nano Gen 2? I will be doing that very soon. And good to see Cole Trickle, Aaron Brooks. We are live. And let's start. Let's get this done. Duck Vision's here. And what's it taste like? Well, we're going to find out, my friend. We're going to find out. Give an AMD version of this Lenovo. Yeah, well, we're going to get something pretty interesting. The Z13's coming this week, hopefully. Fingers crossed it's supposed to be coming. All right, let's do it. Let me just go to this camera right here, and let's take that off the screen. And I don't think I need a knife here. Okay, so we can just sort of open it up because it is a review unit from Lenovo. But if for those that want to see the knife is right here. So there you go. But I don't need it. I just wanted to do that. Anyway, enough with the nonsense. Let's get this out of the box. Okay, very minimalist stuff here. I think they're trying to go with the eco-friendly packaging like other OEMs. Let's see, they get some documentation here. And this is the Windows 11 Pro recovery, ThinkPad series, X1 Carbon Gen 10, so you can see it there. Okay. Nothing spectacular in terms of the documentation, never too exciting. And then, of course, let's take a look at the power adapter. It's a 65 watt USB-C. And there you go. And I think it's pretty much what we've been seeing from Lenovo in this line in the past. So I don't think there's anything too different about it, but pretty portable. And then, of course, you get the extension cord as well. Okay. There is optional 5G connectivity. I don't know what they sent me. Again, this is we're unboxing this live together. And of course, this is the unit. Let's take it out of the felt over there. And this is it. So it doesn't have the carbon fiber weave, as you can see there. So I'm not sure which one they sent me. Oops, I don't want to damage it. This is the bottom of the unit. Very, very nice. And as far as ports are concerned, you get 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports, a USB-A port, HDMI, and then on the other side, another USB-A port, 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, and of course, the Kensington lock port. So, and it's the typical, that X1 Carbon. It's thin, it's light, but it doesn't feel cheap in any way. It's a very premium, but of course, fingerprint magnet device, as you can see there. Let's see if you can open it with one finger. Yes, you can. So a couple of changes I already noticed here. A little bit of a lip here. You can see it there, right there. A little raised lip. And that's, of course, going to be the camera. Expecting better things. And it's a matte display. So I see we already have the matte display. Okay. I see we have, let's see, 78 of you watching. Looking good. Now, this keyboard feels fantastic. Now, what they did with the keyboard this time around is that there's an air intake system here on the keyboard to help with the thermals. So you can't see it really, but there are air intakes, and I can actually kind of see it from the side here. I don't know if you can see it there, but you could actually see that there are vents there. That's supposedly going to help with the thermals on this. That would be good. And it says the Intel Evo. It's the Core i7 here. iSafe certified display. It has the ThinkPad branding there. I don't know if there's any juice. Let's turn it on. Looks like there is. We'll plug it in a moment, but I just want to see it first boot here. Of course, you could also put it flat like that. And you can see it here. Flat. And I love the fact that Lenovo sets it up in advance for me, which is great, saves me time. Now, the display, look, I think this might be the IPS. We'll find out right now. Display settings. And let's go to, so this is the full HD plus, so 1920 by 1200. And let me go to the advanced, and it's a 60 hertz display. So they gave me the full HD plus. It is touch. So it's a full HD plus matte display, touch screen display, which I like. So you don't get the glare, you don't get the reflections, and there you go. Now, pull up full brightness here. It looks like a pretty bright display. I think they claim that this is 400 nits. And looks gorgeous, even full HD plus. And this is going to do great on battery life. So there you go. Thank you, my friend, Handquake. Once again, great member of the channel. Big supporter. See you soon, my friend. Okay, well, it's good to see you. I'm glad you were able to join us. Now, getting back to this, there is... Let me see what else we can talk about. Let's get to the system specs here because I don't know what they sent me in terms of the processor. So this has the Core i7 1260p. So that has 12 cores. We know that it has 8 efficiency cores and 4 performance cores. So that is good there, of course. They can go up to a 1280p, which of course would be V Pro. Okay, this is V Pro support on this. And it could be optional 5G and so forth. I don't believe this one will have it. And it has Intel Iris Xe graphics. So we're going to run some benchmarks once I get into my network here. Let me plug in my network credentials here so we can get that connected. We turn the Wi-Fi on. Looks like it's a full battery also. Well, I put the credentials in. Hope everybody's doing okay. We got 108 of you. A lot of anticipation for this one, that's for sure. Let me make sure I'm in the right time zone because this came from, I think, North Carolina, I believe. Oh, it's already Pacific. Good. Okay. It knew when I turned on the Wi-Fi that I'm in the Pacific time zone. All right. So what we're looking at here, very nice. So it's a 180-degree display. It's a matte display, which I like. It's a touchscreen display, full HD plus as a recap. Core i7 1260p. Let me download Chrome on this for a moment. Let me put it over here. And let me start browsing without my data. I know this is a little bit boring for some people, but this is just a live unboxing. I'll have a more formal video as I usually do. And I don't like Edge. I mean, I know I could use Edge, but I just like to use Chrome whenever I can, even though it might be a memory hog, but I don't care. All right, so this is, that's downloaded. Let me open that. And we want to say yes. So the big changes here so far are going to be the fact that you're getting a 12th gen processor. I'm expecting hopefully double multi-core performance. Now, on the Gen 9 last year, I got about, I think, 5,500, 5,600 on the multi-core score in the Geekbench. Hopefully, we're going to get hopefully 8,500 to 9,000 or above on this. Supposedly, improved thermals. There's also a new vent here on the back. They put a vent on the back to help with the cooling. And it also has air intake system on the keyboard. Now, the key travel is fantastic. I think the keyboard feels better this time around, which is good. Let me put it on me while I put my credentials in. Let me turn on that. Logging into my Google account. So I hopefully will have better thermals on this. And it's going to have LPDDR4X RAM. So that means LPDDR5 RAM, which is a much faster RAM than last year, which used LPDDR4X RAM. So that's going to be hopefully better. And let me do the two-factor authentication. Just give me a second. We're almost there. That's me. Okay. And I'm going to turn that on as well. Okay. So we're in. And I'm going to want to plug it in to get it on the full performance. Let me put it on. It's on efficiency right now, best performance. Now, the other thing I wanted to see, let me go to the system again. And you can see here, it's got 16 gigabytes of RAM. Okay. So that is not upgradable. It's soldered into the motherboard. And that's unfortunate, but again, we had that same issue last year. And hopefully battery life will be good on this one because this one is the full HD plus, so it won't drain as much battery as the higher res displays. And there are plenty of display options with this. I saw on the ThinkPad website or the Lenovo website. And what they're showing here as far as what's available, you got this 1920 by 1200 touchscreen, low-powered, 400 nit display. And then you have some other options, a 2.8K OLED, that's going to be 400 nits. Then there's a 4K Plus or UHD Plus. That one's a 500 nit display, HDR 400, low blue light. And then there's a UHD Plus Dolby Vision display, which has the HDR on that one as well. And that is also low blue light, and that's a touchscreen as well. So there are a lot of different displays. And then there's one with the privacy guard That's going to be great for those enterprise or business users that want to have that privacy display. As far as the RAM, I think as far as you can go on this is up to 32 gigabytes LP DDR5 5200 megahertz RAM soldered in. It is dual channel RAM from what this says on here. So we don't have to worry about the dual channel aspect. But again, you want to get as much RAM as you need at the time of purchase because you cannot upgrade it yourself. Again, I'm curious too, Jordan, about the battery life. It's got the same, I think, 57 watt-hour battery. It's got the rapid charge support. So hopefully we'll see that. The 2.8K to me, I was hoping they would send me the 2.8K, but I guess they're hard to get right now. I don't know. But this full HD Plus 1920 by 1200 is looking good so far. Now, the display is looking, the keyboard is looking really good. Touchpad working very well so far. I have no complaints. The display definitely looking good. As we go to YouTube, let me go to, let me see if I could change. I'd like to put the dark theme. So let's put it to the dark theme. And then let me go to, let's run a video on it just to show the display. And then we'll look at the camera as well. Let me go here and watch later. And I have it here somewhere. Let me just load it up. So this is not, I don't believe this is an HDR display, but it is an option, of course, if you go with the higher res display. And it sounds pretty good too so far. Very nice. Very nice. We'll run a benchmark or two on tonight's live stream as well. But I just want to see how deep the blacks are. Yeah, that's a pretty nice black level there. And no glare, no reflection. I love the matte displays. I just love them. They're great. You don't get distracted with any glare reflections, which I love. The speakers sound really good. Yeah, nice, rich, and full. Really good. Okay, so the display looks fantastic, and I guess we're going to get really good battery life out of this. All right, so let's talk pricing, and then we'll get to the camera. Let's actually look at the camera. I'm kind of curious. So let me go to the camera here. So this is another improvement that I've been wanting to see on this. This is a full HD. And it's got a shutter switch. So if you... There you go. It has that gray screen. And then if you turn it off, there I am. Wow. Looks pretty good. Let me connect it up onto the HDMI. Give me a second here. Love having HDMI ports, people. Makes a big difference. And there we go. And this is a 1080p camera. And there, yep, 1080p. I just want to make sure. And what I like is it's got realistic colors here. It's not overly saturated. It's clean. It's crisp. Very, very good. Very good. What do you think? So good video conferencing. Now, I don't know if this one has the IR camera. Let's go to the settings. You can see it here. And let me go to the accounts, and then this is one way to find out. Sign in options. And so this one doesn't have the IR, but there are ones, the higher end models that do have it. There is, of course, a fingerprint scanner, but that's not a huge deal to me. This is the big deal here. This is having a much better experience for video conferencing. It is pretty nice, Meat Puppet. Pretty nice. Looking good. Yeah, I think so, Jordan. What processor? This is the 1260p, the Core i7. If you use series that's better suited for thin and lights. I like this P series, but again, battery life will be interesting because the U series I think is also offered on this, but I don't remember which SKU. But the P series is going to give you a little bit more performance, being a 28-watt CPU. 12 cores, that's 8 efficiency cores, 4 performance cores. I think it looks good, Revolt. Now, if you go with the higher end options, I'm looking at the specs here on the camera, you can get a full HD RGB with webcam privacy, and I think that's what this one is. Then there's a full HD with infrared, with hybrid, so that means that will have Windows Hello. And then there's the full HD Plus with the IR, which is the infrared, with computer vision and webcam privacy shutter. So it does have the privacy shutter, but that top end one will also give you those extra bells and whistles, I guess background blur and all that stuff. I'm not sure with this one, but we'll have to play with it. But so far, very, very impressive in terms of the clarity. I think it looks good. So that's going to be one area that I'm pretty interested in. So that's been pretty good. And let me go download some, let me look at the Geekbench. Let's see what we have here. I'm going to have to plug it in. Give me a second while we load that in, but let me download Geekbench real quick. For Windows. And again, loving having the matte display here. Hope everybody's enjoying themselves tonight. I know there have been a lot of comments and questions, but I wanted to get a good look at it before we get to them. We'll get back to your comments and questions. So if you need to ask me something, there you go. And of course, by the way, Super Chat, Super Stickers are open. If you want to help out the channel, Super Thanks on the replay certainly helps out the channel. And of course, memberships on a monthly basis. Let me plug this in. Give me a second. Okay, so let me take my plug here, plug it into one of the Thunderbolt 4 ports, USB-C. Okay, so now it's plugged in, it's charging, and it's on performance mode, but then let me see the ThinkPad, ThinkVantage here. Here we go. And let me put it on the ultimate performance mode or whatever they have on this one. So let me go to device, power, intelligent cooling, standby. Okay, I think it's here. Okay, I think it's controlled all by the Windows. Intelligent cool, yeah, I think that's how they're doing it on this. Okay, we'll find out in a moment. So that's that. All right, so let me load in the Geekbench test. And I could put it on the screen here. And we're going to go next, agree, next. Again, it's a little warm in here, so I don't know if it's going to be the most optimal situation for doing any benchmarks. Let me lower the air conditioning a little bit. It's a little warm with the lights. And I love doing these live streams with you guys because it's a lot of fun for me. And of course, I can get something out really quickly, and then I could do the video, probably get it out in the afternoon tomorrow. All right, so we're looking at 1260p, 12 cores, 16 threads, 16 gigabytes of RAM. Let's do it. So this is running the Geekbench test. We'll see what the score is. I'm looking for, so last year, the Gen 9, I got about 5,500 or so on the multi-core, 14 or 1,500, I guess, maybe less on the single core, and that was with the 11th gen processor. So we'll see what the 12th gen processor, which has more cores in the sense of 4 performance, 8 efficiency cores. We'll see how that all works out. This has Intel Iris Xe graphics, integrated graphics, of course. So there you go. All right, let's take some of your questions while that's running. Looks good. That's a good-looking screen. It is duck vision. It's a touch screen as well. So yes, I agree. I will be doing the MacBook Air M2 as soon as I can get my hands on one. You got it, my friend. Arm Tech. I love doing this for you guys, so really appreciate the acknowledgement there. We got our first super chat from James Geiger. Let me put it onto the screen here. So James with a $10 super chat. I deserve a tip. Looks like a lot of production working live streams. Yeah, it's a lot more than you might think. Trying to work 4 cameras plus the HDMI connection into this. Yeah, it's a lot of work, but I want to appreciate that, man. Thank you for that $10 super chat. Okay, let's go back to here. And it's running. We'll see. I don't know. Again, I don't know what's running in the background. I don't know if I have it on the most ultimate performance here. I use the Windows to do that, but I think there might be a way to do it on the, if the ThinkVantage has to be updated. I don't know, but we'll see. I'm just curious like you. And then we'll get the MacBook Air M2 at some point whenever it's released into the studio. I'll do my benchmarks on it, of course. But every time I get burned when I buy an Apple product because nobody watches. Because by the time I get it, everybody else is, it's just not great. I try to keep the background dark on purpose this time because I didn't like all the lights and stuff. So I don't know. I think it looks okay, but if it's too, I can brighten it up a little bit. But here we go. We got our score here, 84, 89, 1527. So definitely a lot better than last year. That's for sure. But again, I don't know if anything was running in the background, but that's a very good score. 84, 89, obviously for multi-core is very good. 1527 is a decent score for the single core. So definitely an improvement over the Gen 9. That looks like so far. Let's also go, I could do the R23, but I'm going to save that for the video. Let's do, it also has faster storage, Gen 4 SSD storage. So let me close this and let's run the compute benchmark real quick before we do that, OpenCL, and we'll get some more on that. I think Intel's done a good job, Revolt, but I will be getting the Z16 or the Z13 rather from ThinkPad in this week. So we're going to get an idea of that Ryzen 6 Pro, 6000 Pro processor, the Ryzen 7 Pro with the 6000 series, and we'll see it. And then, of course, the Macs are having a big problem right now from what I'm reading with the M2, but whatever. I think people are blowing things out of proportion, that's for sure. Something was being, see, this thing's actually happening in the background. Okay, 17, because I just saw a driver update there. That's why it blacked out. 17629, that's pretty good, actually. And let me do the Crystal Disk Mark test real quick. And then this is a, just impromptu kind of thing. We want to get this, the speeds on the SSD because this is using Gen 4. And actually, let me download that first. And we go to the download. Got 80 of you watching. Pretty good turnout tonight. And so far, my takeaway is the display is excellent. So far, the performance is looking good. The keyboard is fantastic. The build is unbelievably good. Built like a tank, we know that. And of course, we got the much better camera. I mean, that was a really nice upgrade there. And I'm sure the microphones will sound better as well, but I'll show you in the upcoming video. Hopefully I'll get it out by tomorrow. So let's do a real quick test on the SSD. Looks like it's 512 gigabytes. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, a lot of people are coming to me, they want to, should I buy it? Should I not buy it? It's just a matter of what your personal preference may be. Oh, wow. This is looking good so far. That's a good start. 6713. Again, I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell anybody to buy it, but I can show you the numbers. I can show you and give you my experience with it. And so far, and I'm a big fan of this, so I should say that as a caveat. I'm a big fan of this line. I actually love it. I've reviewed pretty much every iteration of this, And it's a great enterprise business laptop. Consumers can buy this. It's a great device if you do a lot of typing. If you're a writer, it's a great device. If you're a blogger, it's a great device. So if you do anything for extended periods of typing and you want to have the most comfortable experience, this doesn't get much better than this, people. It really doesn't. Best keyboard by far, and it's still a great keyboard. And there are also communication keys on here. As you can see here, we could probably zoom in. And I know it's a little dark there, but you can see the communication keys right there. So you got so it's good. It's got a lot of the features that a business user might want. And that's what I love about it. It doesn't skimp on anything. Security features. There's also the optional tile tracker on this. So if you're going to go to an airport, somebody tries to walk away with it, you can track it. You know, it's a tile tracking has been known. It's a well-established product, and you can get it as an option on this. You could also get it with the optional 5G. So if you want to have that always-on connection, or you can go with 4G LTE. Of course, you'll have to pay extra, but again, enterprise users, business users will look at this and have no problem adding that in. I don't know how you are here chatting. What? Okay, I don't know. Something's going on. I don't know what's going on. I hope my moderators take care of what needs to be taken care of. For your next review, edit all your video on this device and review it that way. Yeah, well, this is not that kind of device for video editing. To be honest with you, I would never do it. I use something with a discrete GPU, whether it be the Dell XPS 159520 or the XPS 179720, the X1 Extreme Gen 4. I will hopefully get the Gen 5 in soon. But of course, I'm still doing it on the Mac right here, 2019 MacBook Pro 16, which I use Final Cut Pro. So most of that is what I'm doing on here. So good to see everybody. All right, so surprising how X1 can keep the weight so low, retain all the ports. Guess it is the material they use. Yes, so if I look on the bottom here, this is a magnesium alloy. So what they're using on here is a magnesium alloy, and that is a very durable but lightweight alloy. And what that does is that allows them to get the weight down, but also gives you that durability that you want. All right, we got another super chat here. This is from Cole Trickle, $10. Live unboxings are the best. I'm glad you like it. Not everybody loves the live stuff, but I love it. I know a lot of you do like it. That's why I keep doing it. I leave it up as a replay for those that want to watch it that can't join us, whatever the time difference might be. We are talking about the Gen 10 here, okay? All right, let's go back on some of your questions. I know I missed some of them, and I'll just go randomly. Hopefully, if I miss anybody, I apologize. David Martin Graff, good to see you. Intel 9th Gen i9-9900K is the second most expensive CPU. Okay. Well, on this one, obviously, he's running the Core i7 1260p. This is a 12th gen. We're talking 12th gen right now. According to James Geiger, Intel might have a quick turnaround for 14th gen because their Intel 4 process is healthy. 13th gen is interim. Please release. I think the 14th gen will be great. Yeah, we'll see. Well, let's just deal with the 12th gen right now. Let's get through the 12th gen. We have a hard enough time getting those. Thank you. I was waiting for this review before purchasing. Yeah, I saw that earlier. Cannot really have a good looking of the laptop. I don't know what that means. This is a good looking laptop. This is the ThinkPad. It's a unique look that it has. It's got that sturdiness that you like. I love the ThinkPad. I love the way this black looks on it. It's very sleek to me. I like it. Intel is embarrassing. No, Revolt, come on. You know better than that. Come on. I hate that you're forced to upgrade to the 1270p just to get the 32 gigabyte option. That's $500 over the base model. Yeah, not great. At least give us the option to upgrade it yourself, but we don't. Somebody said the back was a little too dark. We can change that a little bit. Let me bump up let me go here. Is that better? Let me know if that's better. I lightened it up a little bit, but I don't want to go too drastic. I like the dark look. Hide my beautiful face. It's sexy in a utilitarian way. That's a very good way to put it. Am I sexy also in a utilitarian way? Okay. We're just having fun here. Does the new fan design leave significant gaps in the keyboard? Yes, I saw the keyboard. So I'm looking at the keyboard here. And there are no significant gaps, but I can definitely see some air intakes there. It's hard to show it with everything connected, but I'll try to get a good look at it in the unboxing video that I'll release hopefully tomorrow. Will this be a good programming and coding laptop? Yes, absolutely. That is correct, Meat Puppet. Thank you for letting Niraj know. Good thing to see William here. Good to see you. The nice thing about the dark look is the keyboard is easy to see when the backlight is on. Yes. Let me see the backlight. Let me go put it on this one. We could probably see a little bit here. So you hit, with this, of course, you hit the function. This is with it fully on. Actually, you can see it from this side angle. Very, very nice. So you have two levels and then off. Very nice. This is the most right there. This is on the full brightness. Oh, okay. Yes, I am sexy. Thank you so much, Duck Vision. Thank you. It's nice to hear. I don't know if it's true, but it's nice to hear. All right. You got it. All right. So David is saying, I'd like to see Lenovo finally release a desktop from just the keyboard built into the ThinkCenter M90N1 Nano with the computer just built into the ThinkPad Bluetooth USB keyboard Gen 2. Okay. You know, they did send me a keyboard with the ThinkPad keyboard, the external one that people can use with Bluetooth. On a note about the keyboard, reminds me of the Apple M2 MacBook Air leaks and white keyboard with bezels. Gladly they didn't do that. No, I'm glad they didn't mess too much with this keyboard. That's one of the things that people absolutely love about this is this keyboard right here. The tactility is looking good so far. I'm really liking it. I love typing on these. This is my favorite device to type on. There's no question. We have 74 of you watching. Now with the red finger nub, very Darth Vader. Well, that's, of course, the track point. It's here. It's not going anywhere. So let's get our score on the SSD. 6745 on the read, 4503 on the write. Very good stuff here. I imagine if you go to the 1 terabyte, it might even be more speed on that. Usually the higher you go, the better, but very good. So far, fast SSD, faster RAM, LPDDR5, as opposed to LPDDR4X from last year. You're getting a faster processor, and of course, you're getting all these display options, including the new OLED 2.8K. And I don't know if that's 90 hertz. Does anybody know if that is 90 hertz as well? Because we've seen those before. What is the aspect ratio? Well, the aspect ratio is 16:10. It still retains that, thank God. It's the best blend to me between getting work done in terms of productivity and, of course, with the media, which is really 16:9 optimized. But, of course, you'll get slight bars on the bottom and the top when you're consuming or watching media. But I think you'll do obviously less scrolling when it comes to web browsing. Now, I did check out the 3:2 aspect ratio of that HP Elite Dragonfly Chromebook, which people don't really care about it because it's a Chromebook. But what a great device that is, by the way. 3:2 aspect ratio. I am really enjoying it, especially with the LTE on that. I'm really liking that, believe it or not. I know a lot of you don't like the Chromebook. Yeah, so 16:10 is the best aspect ratio. I tend to agree, although I really do like that 3:2. And we're going to see some more from HP soon on that 3:2. So that's hopefully going to come very soon. James Geiger says, hallmarks of the Carbon are the keyboard, matte display, which is what we have here. I agree with Andrew that the matte displays are great. We need more. And what I love about this is a touchscreen. I don't think it has pen support in any way. Let me see. I have a pen here. This one is from Dell. No, I don't think these have pen support. I don't think they ever did. Let me try one from, I don't know. No, I don't think this has pen support. I just wanted to see. I can't help myself. I just got to try things out. Yeah, so far looking good. Let me run. Now, maybe it did some things in the background. Maybe it stopped. Let's run this again. I just want to see the Geekbench again. It's a little bit heated up. And by the way, I do hear the fans on this. And we can open it up right now if you want. These are pretty easy to open up. So we can take a look at the internals. I'd have to get my kit from the other side of the studio. While this is rendering, let me go get that. Hold on. And for those people wondering, I have my iFixit kit. This is the best thing. This is probably one of the best investments I did on the channel. You get all the different screws and so forth. We'll get to that in a moment, but let's get this one last test, and then I want to see what the internals look like. Supposedly, now there's also a heat vent in the back, and I feel it coming out from there, by the way. So that's something new. And of course, the air intake from the keyboard. This is going to be a great full-on Linux, yeah. You could definitely put Linux on this. We got to start doing that here on the channel. Yes, some companies, I guess some enterprise organizations still use Windows 10, so they might want to give that option. How are the speakers? Speakers sound good so far. These are quad speakers. According to this, these are Dolby Atmos, user-facing 4 speakers. So I guess there are 2 here. I don't know where the others are. Well, we're going to open it up in about a moment. Well, I just want to get this Geekbench second run here. I just want to see what that is. Now that it's been running a little bit, it might get a little less score. We'll see. I don't know. Just for shits and giggles. Okay. So the speaker's sounding good. Let me see if there's any other questions. We only have 53 likes, but we have 75 of you watching. What the hell, people? Hit that thumbs up. Come on. This is not easy. This is not easy. How is the glass touch trackpad compared to the plastic trackpad this year? How is the glass trackpad in comparison to the plastic trackpad this year? What plastic trackpad? This is the same glass trackpad we had last year. See, it was definitely, we got a better single core. Look at this. So we got about 8,500 last time, when we just ran it initially, but because it's been running, we got a much better single core score this time. So I'll do more testing on this. Let me take a screenshot before I forget. I forgot to do the other one. Where is it? There it is. Okay. All right. So that's done. Let me turn this off, and then I'm going to open it up. Let me turn it off because I don't want to have it on while I'm doing all that, opening it up. So we can go down here. Let me unplug this. And let's unplug that. Okay. So let's just open it up. What the hell? So there are Phillips head screws. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 4 Phillips head screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's one in the middle there. Okay. And I think these are captive, if I remember correctly. Yep. They do it so, they make it so easy. One of the reasons I love Lenovo. They're really great to work with, by the way. As a tech reviewer, they're really got some, class A plus pleasure to deal with. And same goes for HP, and same goes for Lenovo. Let me see if I have to unscrew these more, and if I have to use pry tool. Hopefully I don't. We'll see. Let me get my pry tool. I hate doing this on camera. There we go. Just got to get it started. Okay. So metal. And there she is. Beautiful. There she is. Okay, so what we see here so far, the two fans, obviously. We got the SSD here. There's a space here, I guess, for the optional wireless WAN or the 5G, 4G, depending which one you go with. Two speakers there. 47 watt-hour battery there. The soldered RAM should be somewhere in the middle there. Heat pipe, copper heat sink there. Let me see, the wireless card is right there. So that is soldered in. I don't think that's a difference from last year, so you cannot change that out. It's Wi-Fi 6E, by the way, and Bluetooth 5.2. Let me see if this camera looks good, so you can see it here. Beautifully done. I mean, it's a beautiful piece of engineering, that's for sure. And then, so the only thing you can upgrade here is the SSD, but this looks like a second slot here. I wonder if you could put an SSD there. Or is that just for the wireless WAN? Very interesting. And I don't know if I can see a second slot. I don't know. I'll have to do more investigation. I don't want to touch too much on this. Again, it's not mine, but pretty interesting. I guess hot swap batteries aren't a thing anymore. No, but you can actually, this can be changed out if you had to use it, but not going to be a convenient thing to do. But if it goes bad, I guess you can service it and get it replaced. But pretty interesting. How do I get laptops to test? So let's do this for 6 years. You do this thing for 6 years and you work your ass off. That's how you do it. Does Lenovo tend to put screws on the other laptops under the rubber feet? No, that's an HP thing, and it drives me nuts. Lenovo doesn't really do that. They're pretty good. They're one of the better ones to get inside. Dell also is pretty good to get inside. It's the HP with the damn rubber feet. You're watching HP. I know you're watching, but I love you guys anyway. So yeah, I mean, who cares about the trackpad when you got the track point? There you go. There we got one of the people who love the track point. It's a devoted following. And I actually speak to Lenovo about this when I meet with them. And they're not getting rid of this. It's part of the DNA. Yeah, so no rubber feet to contend with here. Specs on the sheet says 1 SSD slot. Yeah, so that must be for the Cat 20, whatever, the Cat 9, whatever the hell the 4G or the 5G is. Did they contact you first based on your reputation or my followers? Where have you been? I got 128,000 subscribers. 127. Well, we're going to hit 127 probably the next day or so. Yeah, they contacted me, but it took me years before I got recognized. I was persistent in trying to meet them, but at some point they contacted me. So there you go. So first, last. Don't be last. Sometimes you got to be first, but it's okay to be last sometimes. We'll see. All right. So let's put so that's the internals. Again, good job on that for their engineers. If you're watching, nice job. And I love the captive screws. It really makes my life easier because I don't have to worry about losing screws. And it makes my life so much easier. So we'll just screw these back on. Place. And this is the iFixit, by the way. The kit is fantastic. Best thing I invested in. It's worth it. I used a lot of these cheaper brands in the past off of Amazon, and every one, they get stripped after a while and just become useless, especially the T5 Torx screws, which I use quite a bit, or the Phillips head, which is what I'm using now. And there's the iFixit logo on there. So not affiliate, but definitely good job on that part, on their part. And that's that. So, any other questions? Did they contact you? Okay, here we go. It's a socket that I'm sure you could find that fit a smaller 2242 in that slot. I think it is a socket. I'll look at it more closely when I open it up again. Is there much difference between the 12th gen Iris Xe and the 12th gen, 11th gen Iris Xe? Not really. I think these have the same, I think it's 96 executional units on this one. And I don't think you're going to see a huge difference. You will see, I shouldn't say that. I have been seeing on these 12th gen a bump up, not a huge increase, maybe 5-10%, maybe 15% at the most. In fact, I did see it on the on that Acer that I just did. I noticed a better well, that was when you compared it to the Ryzen from the year before, the Acer Swift X I just did. But yeah, I'm definitely seeing an improvement, a little bit, not much, on the graphics end. How much is it for the iFixit? I'll put a link when we're done. You probably, I want to say $70, $60. It's not cheap, but they're definitely worth it. Are there throttling issues with the X1 Carbon Gen 10 using the i7? I'm going to find out when I do my benchmarks on that. Good to be back. This Lenovo is good. Good to see you, Evan. Lenovo is a good option for those that use it for business. Absolutely, especially with this gorgeous keyboard. It's fantastic. I love this keyboard. Oh, love it. I just want to type on it. Oh, and then you just take this with you. It's so easy to throw in your bag. Not too heavy. What about 2.48 pounds, 1.2 kilograms, 1.12 kilograms. Really nice. And Tech Realm, thank you for putting the link in there for the toolkit. So for those that want this toolkit, again, I'm not sponsored, I'm not affiliated with them, but if you want to check it out, there's the link. But this is one of the best investments I've made so far. Comes with a lot of handy tools, especially if you open up things a lot like I do. And it's a must-have if you're a tech reviewer. That's no question about it. So it ranges from $69 to $75. Yeah, that's about right. And worth every penny. Because I've tried all the $20 ones, the $15 ones, the $30 ones, all crap. They all last maybe a couple of months. And then I got strip screws, especially the T5 Torque screw, which is probably the most used. And then, of course, the Phillips head screw, also used quite frequently on these laptops, depending on which OEM you're dealing with. So again, on this one was Phillips head, they're captive Phillips head screws. So after handling it for a stream, any noticeable fingerprints? Yes, you do see fingerprints on this. You can see it around here. Not as bad as it used to be, but you can see on the cover here a little bit right there. Still a fingerprint magnet, but of course black is always going to show that. So, and there you can see the matte display, which I love. Okay, what's going on? Revolt, stop it. Duck is a good guy. So after handling it for a stream, any noticeable fingerprints? I talked about that. You know, Revolt, I don't want to ban you because I know you've been here a while. But so is Duck Vision, and he's been a great moderator. Don't make me throw the hammer down. I mean, let's keep it organized. Let's keep it nice, people. We're here. We're friendly here. We're not antagonistic here. Okay. That's what I get for doing this stuff, I guess. All right. Good to see you, Tattoo Pela. Any other questions? So far, this is my takeaway, and we've been doing this for almost an hour. And I don't want to go too much more than an hour today. We've been letting these go a little too long. So far, what do I like? I like the display. This is the Full HD Plus, matte display, touch display. Looking good so far. And I think we're going to do the best battery life out of the Full HD Plus as opposed to the higher res options. But there are plenty of options when it comes to the display. The new one being the OLED 2.8K display. That should be pretty interesting and pretty gorgeous because it's OLED. But this has been pretty good. The blacks have been deep so far. And I'll do all my measurements and all the things. I'll use my Spider 5 Elite. I'll get all the numbers for you, the brightness. This is measured at, they're claiming, I think, 400 nits on this one. Low blue light filter will help reduce eye strain. So very, very good. Now it's 180 degrees, so you can go down like that. And it has some good ports here. Of course, we showed you the ports earlier. 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports on this side right there. It's hard to see it because of that camera, but you can see it here. 2 Thunderbolt 4, HDMI, USB-A, and then, of course, another USB-A, headphone jack, Kensington lock. I'll show you all in that video coming up. Let me get some water. All right. Any other questions? Your streaming setup and review is really nice. Okay, I appreciate that, Michael. I hope to have a setup similar to this real soon. Yeah. You know, it's not easy. A lot of trial and error. Ask Tech Realm. He's been here a long time. Ask Duck Vision. Ask Handquake. They've all been with us since the beginning pretty much. And I've gone through many iterations. This was not the original studio, of course. That was my old studio that I started live streaming during the pandemic, and then it's evolved over the years. So, all right. Yeah, a lot of laptops, businesses are overpriced, and then you have the weird sales. I'm already seeing the sales. Let's talk about pricing. Let me connect this up. Let me... We don't need the battery. I mean, we don't need the plug. All right, so let me plug this in, and we're going to go over pricing right now. So if I go into Chrome here, and let's go to ThinkPad X1 Carbon Gen 10. And there it is. And let's talk pricing here. So it starts at $1439.40, okay? And these are the different models. And there's these are ridiculous sales. I mean, I think they started off with just way overpriced. These are more of the real prices, in my opinion. So $1439. So let's look. So this one for $1727. Let's see what it gives you. You get a 12th gen i5 1240p that has the 12 cores, 16 threads. That's the i5. It's got integrated Iris. They all have integrated Iris Xe graphics, 16 gigs of RAM, 512 SSD, 14-inch display, but it's the non-touch Full HD Plus, 1080p Full HD, and that one has no wireless WAN, and that is $1724. So I would imagine this one, I don't know where, I guess we'd have to configure that one. Let's go to the Build Your PC here. We could probably max one out. So it starts with the i5 1240, goes all the way up to the V Pro, the 1280p, and the i7. Let's just for fun, let's just go with the most expensive SKUs here. So that brought it up to $1976. And then it's got Windows Home. If we want Pro, that goes up to $60 more, 2012. I don't want any of that. And then 32 gigabytes is automatically put into that. And let's see, 2 terabytes, another $820 for something you can change out yourself. I would not recommend this already. 2504. You can do that yourself. And then let's go with the most expensive. Let's go with the OLED for now. That's the middle ground. That's a 14-inch 2.8K display. That's $2670. But if you wanted that HDR touchscreen full UHD plus, that's another $134. But I like this OLED option because it might do a little bit better. I don't know about the battery life. Who knows with the OLED? But you get that carbon fiber woven design, Xe graphics. You also get the IR camera, 1080p with the computer vision. So it's going to have all the extra bells and whistles that I don't have on this one. Fingerprint reader, of course. And then for $194, you can get the FiboCom L860GL16 4G Cat 16 modem. It's not even the 5G. I don't think that's the 5G, is it? I don't know. I don't think so. That's coming maybe later. And by the way, Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.2 with V Pro. And let's see what else you can get on this. I think that's pretty much it. 57 watt hour battery. It's a 4-cell, 65 watt power adapter. It's USB-C. Got the computer vision, as I told you. 1 year depot or carry-in warranty. $27.86. Now, according to this, that's a savings of $18.57, 40% off the initial asking price of $46.44. That's $27.86 is with the really maxed out, with the caveat that you're getting the OLED 2.8K. I was just pretty interested in that one. What do you think? So compared with the X1 Yoga last gen, which one has better battery? I don't know. I didn't test this one yet. We'll find out. And you could also save money by getting the previous version. Absolutely. So very interesting stuff. So I think this is the one they sent me. Let's take a look at that real quick. Let's see what that came out to. Let me go back here. So let's go back to this and price it out. Let me go back to here. Okay, so this one had the core, this one had this, so you take off $313 because we were maxed out almost. So this was the Core i7 1260p, and they sent me over one with, let's see, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and again, no option to go higher on that chipset. They gave me 512 gigabyte PCIe Gen 4. Make sure you get the Gen 4. You'll do better on the performance speeds-wise. They also sent me the touchscreen Full HD Plus. That would be this one. Low-powered 400 nit. It's actually really nice. And it's also matte. Carbon fiber finish with the classic black. That's what I have here. And it comes with the standard 1080p Full HD camera, fingerprint reader, no wireless WAN on my model that they sent over. And Wi-Fi 6E, like we said, Bluetooth 5.2, and it's got the TPM 2.0. BIOS absolute enabled, Evo certified, 57 watt hour battery, 65 watt power adapter. Comes out to $1869.60 for my review model. And not so bad when you consider that this is probably one of the best business laptops you can get on the market. But of course, I'll have more to do on that. Yeah, DePo, it's good to see you. I don't know why that's, let me turn that off. Hate when it does that. You see, it's not perfect, people. There we go. So good to see DePoets. If you haven't checked him out over on TikTok or his YouTube channel, really great stuff. He does a lot of builds, custom builds on PCs. Very, very good stuff. Check it out. The total gross numbers are really imaginary numbers. They really don't mean much. Are we talking about the prices, William? Because it seems like they chop them down after about a week or two, and then you get them like half price. I wonder how the screen would perform in direct sunlight. Should be really good because this is a matte display, so you don't see a lot of glare. You see, even though I have plenty of studio lights here, not too bad in terms of that. 3616 without the sale. Listen, Apple's no better, believe me. Buying a computer of this type is like buying a car. Many options to pick from. Absolutely. And that's one of the things you got to like about Lenovo. And I think their site lays it out pretty clearly. Dell's a little bit more confusing, unfortunately. But this one is pretty straightforward. The X1 Titanium Gen 2 coming out. You know, I haven't heard anything yet. Hopefully we'll get an update on that. Let's see what else. Any other questions? We got 94 of you watching. And you know what? We have 86 likes. People, hit that like button, man. Let's get this spread out of YouTube, over YouTube. Personally, according to Michael Bird, I can't get a screen that has a resolution above 1920 by 1200 or so. I read a lot. And I can't stand the tiny print. As I'm getting older, I'm kind of in that camp as well. Anti-glare versus glass screen, which is better? Oh, I think it just depends. I mean, if you're looking to do work, and a lot of people that are enterprise users, business users want this they want this matte display because they're going to be using this, and watching movies on this is very good. But of course, those HDR glossy displays are going to look really good as well, especially the OLED. That's going to look great. So it's just a matter of what your personal preference is. ASO VivoBook 14S is your laptop. Okay, that's good. Hopefully I'll be reviewing that soon. And again, I don't know if the X1 Titanium Gen 2, as far as a date has been announced. I don't remember that we've heard anything yet. Hopefully we'll see it. I don't know. We'll see. You never know. They try a lot of things over at Lenovo, whether it be a foldable PC, whether it be the Titanium, and a lot of stuff doesn't get a second gen. So, you never know. They like to just do everything and see what works, unlike some other brands. But I love Lenovo. They're great when it comes to pushing the envelope. The 1280p does have 2 more P cores. Yes, they have 6 performance cores as opposed to 4. That is correct. But it still has the 8 efficiency cores. I think there's 14 on that. Yes, correct. And having those extra 2 cores might be a big difference, although it might create more heat. Again, we'll see. I appreciate that. Hit the like button, subscribe, and join the Discord server. Yes, I'm going to be more active on that, I promise. Tech Realms over there is great over there. A lot of great questions, a lot of great resources there. A lot of people giving a lot of information on upcoming stuff. So, and I hop in every now and then when I have time. And I'm going to start making a more concerted effort over on the Discord server. I think we have over 500, almost 600 people, whatever it is. It's grown quite large over the years. Hopefully you can come join us over at the Discord. A lot of great conversations. Everybody's pretty cool over there, pretty chill. So it's been pretty good. John Evans brought the Asus Flip with the 11th Gen i5 8GB 1080p OLED from Costco for $800 Canadian. The only thing is I'm concerned is the 8 gigabytes of RAM may be an issue. 8 gigabytes is really the minimum at this point in 2022. Preferably, you should get 16 if you can. But 8 gigabytes should be fine for basic tasks. You should still be fine. We got 96 likes with 70 of you watching right now. So for those wondering, we've been looking at the X1 Carbon Gen 10. For those joining us late, this is the black version. Obviously, it doesn't have the carbon fiber weave on it, but it does have the really ThinkPad tank quality on this. This thing's pretty durable. Much improved webcam. We showed it earlier. I'll show more in the video coming up. Excellent keyboard with a big change here. It now has ventilation through the keyboard, air intake keyboard with a heat vent on the back. So now there's a heat vent back there, and I actually can feel the heat coming through. So hopefully we'll have improved thermals, less throttling, especially on a thin and light like this. It's sometimes very hard to do in terms of the thermals to try to prevent it from doing that. I do hear the fans going right now. I don't know what it's doing in the background, but I do hear them. Not overly loud, but they're noticeable. But again, I'll push it and we'll see. We'll see what the thermal issues will be. The keyboard air intake really helps. We'll see. I'm hopeful that it will be. My question now becomes, is this still a spill-resistant keyboard? Let me see here. Let me do a Control F here. Let me see if this is spill-resistant like it was. And it is. So according to the website over at Lenovo, spill resistant. And by the way, this is a glass trackpad. I don't know who said plastic. Somebody must, I don't know what they're talking about. Stop smoking that funny tobacco. But this is a glass touchpad. And it's pretty responsive. It's a 4.33 inches or 110 millimeter glass trackpad. And then this is a backlight with white back LED lighting on it. Very good, easy to see. Good differentiation. You can actually see it here. The backlight's on. And it's controllable. You just hit function and spacebar. There you go. Good to see Potato Gorin here. So Keyboard G, I'm going to get the ThinkPad Z13 hopefully by the end of the week. Well, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed we'll have it by the weekend for some really lot of fun stuff. Because that's going to have the Ryzen 7 Pro. and it's going to be the 6000 series on that. It's gonna be good, and it looks really good. I like that. I got a hands-on time with that back at CES when I visited Lenovo in New York when they had their thing, and I was there. And they've been really good to me in terms of giving me access to check out all the new stuff, and it's been great. So many options on this. You can go over to the Lenovo website. I left the link for those interested in the description below. And if you're interested in buying it, go ahead and do it, man. So far it's looking good, but of course I still need to do all my testing. We'll see how that's all going to come out. What do you think? 16 gigabytes LPDDR5 soldered on or expandable? 8, but DDR4 RAM. Oh, that's a tough question because I like expandability. Having that more RAM can make up maybe the difference, although this LPDDR5 RAM is pretty fast. It's 5200 megahertz, so it's faster. That's a good question. What do you people think? That's a good one brought up by Shai Hololololo. Okay. Tech Realm says, personally says he can't stand plastic trackpads. Me either. Over time, they wear off, and you can get very weird grease spots. Yes. But this does show fingerprints, even though this is a glass touchpad, or trackpad, I should say. That's what they call it. Yeah. I'm seeing the fingerprints. That's still an issue with this. Is there an option for a discrete GPU or only integrated graphics? Only integrated. Intel Iris Xe graphics. But if you want to add an external GPU, we have 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports. Certainly support that. So if you want more graphics power when you get home or dock at your office or wherever you are, you have that option, okay? So we'll add to the cost of it, but it does give you that option, having those Thunderbolt 4 ports. Is 8 gigabyte RAM enough for a MacBook? MacBooks are probably fine. I mean, 8 gigabytes in anything in nowadays might be your bare minimum. Used to be 4 gigabytes. Remember that? We saw that with a joke that is offered by the Surface Laptop Go 2 by Microsoft with that 4 gigabyte model. Are they on drugs over there or what? There's nobody in their right mind should buy that model. Buy the middle one that I reviewed if you're going to buy it. What I tell people when asking about RAM, monitor your daily usage on your current computer or laptop to see if you're close to maxing out the 16 gigabytes. If you do, then go for 32. That's a very good point that you brought up, and I think that's a very sensible way of looking at it. It's been pretty good. Let me take a look. I just want to see something, make sure the live stream is... It looks like the numbers are looking good so far. As we're approaching 8 o'clock Pacific time, I don't think we're going to go much longer, but it's looking good. Looking good. So I have a lot of work cut out for me this week. I have a lot of work cut out, but I love this. This is the time where we just got to run with it. Just, hammer it home, What I tell people, so that's a very good way to do it, Duck Vision. Let me go back. Too bad port selection is really poor. No LAN, no SD card reader. That sucks. But it's not too bad when you think about it. Let me uncook this because we do have HDMI. You can see it here. HDMI. You have HDMI. I know this black is a little dark here. HDMI, USB-A, 2 Thunderbolt 4. 3.5 millimeter audio jack, and the USB-A, and then the Kensington lock. So not bad. Yeah, it would have been nice to have an SD card reader. Would have been nice. Mobile phones have more RAM than the Microsoft Go. Yeah, you're not kidding. People, as a public service announcement, if you're thinking about the Microsoft Surface Laptop Go 2, do not, under any circumstances, buy the one with 4 gigabytes of RAM. There you go. Yes, I am. I am located in Las Vegas. John? and I love it here. I put in an SSD in my ThinkPad T470p LTE slot. There you go. So maybe we can put it in this with that slot on there. It looks like an M.2 slot. So we might be able to do that. It's nice that the SD card reader is pretty much the only reason why you would need a dongle. This has most ports you typically would need. Yeah. Would have been nice. They used to have it, if I remember correctly. They took it away last couple of generations. We haven't seen that, if I remember correctly. But yeah, that would be the only dongle you would probably carry. The other thing would be wireless LAN. Would be the LAN port. That would be the other reason for the dongle. But you do get the 2 USB-A ports. You do get the HDMI. And you do get the Thunderbolt 4 port, so that's pretty versatile. You get the headphone jack still there, so it's good. It's again, look who this is the audience is targeted towards, the enterprise and business users. They're going to need the V Pro. They're going to need the enhanced security. They're going to want the shutter switch on the webcam, and the webcam, by the way, for web conferencing, work from home, looking good so far. And I'll show more in that. We showed it earlier. If you want to watch on the replay, you can watch on the replay. Thanks to Andrew, most of us have become aware of expandability. Sometimes your current needs require a 16, but like Andrew recommends, it's good to have expandability. Unfortunately, this is soldered into the motherboard. So make sure when you are checking out on this X1 Carbon Gen 10, make sure you get enough RAM. It can go up to 32. But they force you to go up to the higher chipset, to the I think the Core i7 1270 or the 1280p, if I remember correctly, and that one has 2 extra cores, 2 extra performance cores. So you get 6 performance cores and 8 efficiency cores. I believe only an M.2 2242 can fit in that WAN. Yeah, so you'd have to use a smaller SSD, but it might be something to consider, I guess. I don't know. But yes, you're correct. Should I go with the laptop with DDR4 or DDR5, Inspiron 16 2022 versus the Zenbook 14 OLED? I've reviewed both. Screen is not a deal breaker for me. I need it for office where I'll be playing high volume data. So if you want the bigger display, I think that goes without saying. The Inspiron 16 has the larger display, and there is an OLED option. So you might be able to do that. I know Tech Realm just put in the one over on, that should be the sale, right, Tech Realm? Let me look at the stream because I can't see it on here. That is the one, and let me click over on there. Thank you, Tech Realm. Yeah, that's $749 for the OLED 2.8K. That was on sale. Correct me if I'm wrong. That was on sale for $499 for 4th of July. I put a post on my video, and I also let everybody know there on the 2 videos I did on that was on sale for $499. That is a steal at that price. I think it's back up to the $750, but keep your eyes open on that one. It might get to the sale again. So, dear Andrew, the keyboard is the most important part of the laptop. Therefore, when you review laptops, try to compare with the X1 Carbon keyboard. Yeah. I could tell you right now, the keyboard's looking good. I'm very happy with it. I think it's a little bit better than last year. And again, one of the things that they added here is the air intake system and a heat vent on the back. So the thermal should be better as well. We're going to see. I'm going to do all the testing. Got 106 of you. So looking good. Those small M.2.2s are hard to find. Yeah, those SSDs are hard to find. But it might be theoretically possible if you can find one. Is it advisable to buy or order laptops from China? Oh, that's going to be an issue with regarding to repair and warranty. You may have some issues. So I would recommend, or I would just be careful and do your research. But if you do have to have any repair issues or anything like that, repair, you have to send it in for repair. That might be a big, big problem if you're buying from China. So, and I don't know what the support is on the Windows 11. So I would say buyer beware when it comes to that. I used to, when I started the channel, I used to review a lot of these Chinese tablets and hybrids and this and that. And ultimately, what I noticed was they would break down, and then what do? You're living in the U.S. or you're living in Europe. The repair wasn't so easy. And I used to be with I used to be affiliate of what is it, Gear Best, and I used to do the other one, Bang Good. A few of those who used to rock with me in the early days, those days are those days are gone. Those were the good old days. In fact, sometimes it was a lot easier, to be honest with you. It was a lot, I had no pressure of the numbers, the views and all that stuff. It was just doing it because I love to do it. And if people showed up, and they did, thank God, it was great. Thanks for answering my question earlier. How is Asus Zenbook build quality compared to the ThinkPads? I think by the way, those Asus Zenbooks are really good. I think this is really good. The build quality on these ThinkPads they're made to take a licking because they know these executives, these business users, the people in the vertical markets that use this, they're going to really put it under a lot of stress. They're going to really be rough with it, and it needs to be durable. And that's why they use this magnesium alloy, which is a lightweight alloy, lightweight material, but it also is very durable, and it can take a licking, and it keeps on ticking. As I say, or as Timex used to say. But yeah, I think the build quality is really rock solid. There's very little flex in the chassis. Very little flex. Hardly any screen wobble. Nice tight hinges. 180-degree hinge right there. Love it. Love it. Get a perfect viewing angle each and every time. 109 likes. It's interesting how there's a cost increase on smaller, lighter laptops when they are not built for heavy processor-intensive tasks. It's been that way for years, but still interesting. I think it has to do a lot with the components that they use that are much smaller, I guess, to fit into a smaller space. I don't know. And then plus, they want to be able to charge more. I guess inflation certainly plays a part in that. I don't know. But that is a good point. You do bring up a very valid point, a good observation there. And absolutely, they do go through these mill standard tests on this. This goes through hundreds of tests to make sure it can survive a drop. It can sustain work environments and certain extreme conditions, hot, cold, vibration, dust. I mean, it's just put under a lot of rigorous testing for military grade testing. And the military uses this as well, so I think they do, yeah. One of my favorite things about Lenovo or ThinkPads is it's easy for the public to buy replacement parts, so it helps you keep your laptop going after the warranty. Yeah, that's also great, good point as well. For low-budget consumers who can't afford a ThinkPad, would you please review the ThinkPad 16P Gen 3? Yeah, of course I'm going to be reviewing that. That one I did last year. I did the ThinkPad 16P, and it did very well. I will get it as soon as Lenovo sends it. The P-Series ThinkPad laptops are less expensive, yet they are built like mobile workstations. Yes, the P-Series are great. I've reviewed my share of them. Check it out on the channel for sure. And I love the ThinkPad lineup as well. I'm glad we have this one here today, the ThinkPad X1 Carbon Gen 10. Sorry, I mean, the room lighting for the showing, the laptop is not bright enough. Yeah, I can make it brighter, but then I'll be blown out. Here, this would look maybe a little bit easier. You can see the laptop here. And then, of course, you can see the ports. You can get a good look at it. And you can get a look at the fingerprints. So yeah, this is, I love it. This is good. I'm gonna look forward to testing this. All right. No problem. No problem. All right, I think we're going to come to an end here because I got a lot more to do. Let me see what other questions. They have the ThinkBook 16 Plus with the Ryzen 6800H, which I am interested in. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what they send me. Thanks for showing the laptop and the better lighting. Yeah, I should have done that. I got to do something. I just upgraded the microphone. Now it's time to do the lighting for those that want to see it. Yes, I bought a whole box of those microfiber cloths. Still shows the fingerprints, but you know, with this is going to be a problem. And I'm going to have to put it as one of the cons, of course, when I do my review. This was interesting. Have a good evening, William. Yeah. Video looked good to me. That is the one thing about your channel. The video and the audio is great. Oh, that means a lot to me. I put a lot of effort to try to make it look decent. Have a great night. Okay, people, let's round it out here. This was the ThinkPad X1 Carbon Gen 9. It was a good one tonight. I want to thank all the moderators for doing such a great job. I'm tired, but I got a lot more to do. We got the Z13 coming. Oh, and hold on. I have the HP Pavilion Plus. Now, this one is going to be a pretty interesting one. This one is going to have an OLED display, a 14-inch. It's going to have the H series processor, 12700H. It also has an optional RTX 2060 GPU, but I don't know if I'm getting that one. They're sending it over from HP. It's going to be $850. I think it might even be on sale even lower than that. That's going to be a good one. That's going to go up against the Asus Zenbook with the OLED, but that's just a digression. Okay, people, back to the end of the thing. We'll see you next time. I'm going to put out the unboxing video next on this, and then, of course, I'll have a full review, but a lot more to come. Stay tuned. Make sure you are subscribed, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.